Of looters storming and ransacking high-end stores in the San Francisco area.
The neighborhood is in the middle of a public health crisis. She's calling for an emergency response to drug overdoses.
Well, I've been using, it's actually funny, well, not funny, it's terrible.
What's up, guys? It's Jason here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Decline of San Francisco in 2022 Insight. When you think of San Francisco, what image pops into your head? The Golden Gate Bridge? Trolley cars? Alcatraz? The steep streets in the city of fog have been a part of the United States for just under 2 centuries. This 1848 move would one day yield the second most densely populated city in the US and one of the most famous globally. Let's take a shot dive through the history when San Francisco was on top of the world and go over why San Francisco has fallen so badly now in 2022. We'll go over politics, homelessness, crime, and many other things. Whether you agree or disagree, I guarantee you'll be a San Fran expert by the end of this video. Before we begin, if you wouldn't mind just tapping that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I'd really appreciate it. If you've ever been to San Francisco, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for new videos each week. Thanks for doing that, and now let's continue on with what happened to San Francisco, California, and the future of this once great American city. History of San Francisco before the fall. Before we hop into our main content, it's a good idea to wave at history so we know where we started. This land has been home to humans since 4000 BCE. The first recorded people by Spanish settlers were the Ohlone, thought to have settled the area as hunter-gatherers who practiced some husbandry of the land. Once the Spaniards came in 1769, this prime location was torn from the natives and underwent a modest period of growth. However, the rumors of gold in 1849 turned this foggy little sea town into the largest city on the West Coast, a title San Fran would hold until the early 1900s, wherein that famous 1904 earthquake leveled all progress made and lit it on fire. The residents of the West Coast Mecca were not deterred and took the opportunity to create a city of the future. While it certainly was a prominent naval base in World War II, the city is best known as the capital for counterculture. Think hippies, the gay rights movement, and eventually it was the epicenter of the dot-com explosion. These things all contribute to what makes San Francisco great. However, there are plenty of darker parts that stained the city, making it almost impossible to wash away. While the city is heralded for having progressive legislation, inclusive environments, and was the first sanctuary city on the West Coast, this beautiful exterior has enticed millions to make this city home. Yet, the ugly underside sucks the soul from this exalted mecca of liberal ideologies. One attributing factor that underlines a great deal of the topics we are about to talk about is the Defund the Police campaign San Francisco adopted in July of 2021. The idea of equal treatment is a human right. That is undeniable. The deduction of $120 million from law departments has led to 2 years of rising crimes and a frightening lack of arrests, is the unintended consequences of that choice. Yes, it cannot be denied the pandemic has played a heavy hand in American crime rising. Cities across America have seen a rise in their crimes, drug usage, and the decline of trust in the system. Within the past decade, San Francisco has yo-yoed back and forth between positive change and positively frightening statistics, forcing businesses and residents to rethink their long-term plans in the Golden Gate City. The decline of San Francisco, politics. The trend of San Francisco being a haven for liberal-thinking individuals has persisted through the early 2000s until today. Historically, this has been crucial in giving individuals like the LGBTQIA+ community a home and safe space to fight for equality and justice. The most recent progressive leap in the city spearheaded was becoming the first city in California to embrace the Defund the Police movement. This ultimately redirected $120 million from the police force and redirected it into community outreach and improvement. However, this has not gone the way many who support the movement had hoped. Crime has risen within the city, particularly within the Tenderloin district and tourist hotspots. Within the month of November in 2021, the number of smash and grabs was 876, just shy of doubling 2020's number of 442 smash and grabs. So yeah, things aren't going well for San Fran's residents or businesses. Any crime considered to be a theft under $950 as a misdemeanor. These crimes, along with other traditional robberies, are often not prosecuted due to a 2014 law. Due to this law, combined with the recent defunding, has left stores to their own devices. Walgreens and Safeway have both suffered massive losses of sales, and they have shut down several stores within the city and have no plans for replacement stores or returning to the Tenderloin district in the future, leaving this district with limited options for groceries, pharmacies, and access to other basic necessities. The decline of San Francisco, homelessness. Now that it may seem odd to speak about a city that hosts incredible wealth, home of Wells Fargo, Google, Meta, formerly but is avoiding the law, Facebook, Walmart, Deloitte, and Oracle, as having money, housing, drug, and violent crime problems, while the iconic Lombard Street and other trendy districts paint a picture of wealth, prestige, and abundance. San Fran is within the top 6 cities with the largest homeless population. The National Homeless Information Project estimates that a city has a population of 17,000 individuals who are lacking housing.
This is the Tenderloin, and what they live here is what residents call the tender life. Only it's not very tender.
After spending around $320 million in 2020 for those who found themselves and their families without shelter, there was still an estimated 5,180 left out to fend for themselves. The average Californian spends just over 25% of their income on rent. In the Bay Area, these statistics hold true. It is also important to add that the price of rent has steadily risen since 2009, while the vacancy rate of the city is well below the national average, 5.6%, at 3.25%. All these numbers mean that it's becoming harder and harder to find and afford rent in the Bay and surrounding areas, potentially keeping individuals and families out of decent living conditions. This does not necessarily mean crime would naturally rise, nor does it mean those who lack permanent homes are causing the increase in criminal behavior. However, a large transient population enables perpetrators to commit crimes with greater anonymity and therefore a larger probability of success. The decline of San Francisco, crime. The report you've all been chomping at the bit for, crimes and their chaos. Unlike our Cleveland and Philadelphia episode, the crime stats were a little more obscure for San Fran. Whether it was the reporting style, the defunding of police and therefore less people to actually stop and record crimes, or simply really bad reporting choices, the dive was a little bit of a scavenger hunt. So make sure you click the like button for our efforts. The information is certainly there, we just had to know exactly where to go. Well, we went to the coroner's report and police reports when we couldn't verify them. Things weren't going well. Since 2015, homicide has been steadily increasing, hovering between 45 to 50 homicides each year within the immediate city limits. This does not include the surrounding neighborhoods that define San Francisco, although those have also climbed at a rate that would turn Alex Honnold green with envy. This steep uptick in homicides and violent crimes can be attributed to gang violence, domestic abuse situations, and the close quarters COVID-19 has pigeonholed many into. So, what are the odds of becoming a victim of a violent crime yourself if you lived here? 1 in 178 people. Take a second to think about that. There are more people on a Southwest flight than that. So, out of every plane ride you've taken, one person would become or is already a victim of a violent crime in San Francisco. Now, this includes homicide, rape, assault, and robbery. However, if we revisit our other investigations into Cleveland and Philadelphia, we see that the odds of becoming a victim of violent crime in Cleveland is 1 in 59, and Philly was 102. Now, with the policies in place in San Francisco, many robberies go unreported and unprosecuted, so these current odds probably will change in the future when reporting and prosecutions are reinforced. What we're trying to get across here is that while beautiful, the city has a higher crime rate than 97% of America and is way safer than even Cleveland. Who would have guessed? The decline of San Francisco, drugs. Another popular topic on this channel, drugs and drug-related issues. It's no secret that America is facing a serious drug epidemic, and while there's many different paraphernalia included in this topic, and no, we're not talking about marijuana, though California was the pioneer state in allowing medical cannabis usage and was one of the first adoptees of recreational usage laws, no, we're talking about something that can kill you in the instant it enters your bloodstream. Fentanyl. In our Cleveland video, we discussed how it was this quirky town in Ohio that has been the capital of the epidemic for this substance, which remains true. San Francisco has its own rising numbers, doubling in fatal overdoses since 2015. Fentanyl is infiltrating the drug world in a roaring and aggressive takeover. Dealers use the synthetic substance to cut the price of their product while yielding a greater high for the user.
My dealer said, you know, I've got these new pills, they're fake oxys. He didn't tell me they were fentanyl because nobody knew what fentanyl was yet. He just said they're 100 times stronger and they're only $5 more.
Creating a consumer base that will be captured by the intense high and cheap price, opioids, heroin, ecstasy, MDMA, and cocaine all have the potential to be laced with this substance, as it is easy to blend in with the main drug. This has led to the absolutely staggering numbers of overdoses and deaths that San Fran has seen in the past few years. The number of overdose deaths in the immediate Bay Area are double all of the COVID deaths for the area in 2020. That number was 700. Yes, 700 individuals who lost their lives battling an addiction. However staggering that number may be, and it is staggering, the numbers for 2021 were slightly better at 650 deaths attributed to overdose. I doubt it gets better for San Francisco in 2022 and 2023. So, what next for the future of San Francisco? Well, we could tell you about how the pandemic destroyed the tourism industry, costing approximately $8 billion of revenue in 2020 alone, or that the 49ers have posted pretty bad numbers since their Super Bowl defeat in 2012. Either way, we figured that more fun facts weren't really fun. There is obviously hope for this city, with the law enforcement system receiving their funding again, the American public slowly coming out from their pandemic hidey holes, and our economy eking back to life. The city once again could emerge as the celebrated liberal haven that has been the subject of many indie bands. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. What do you think of San Francisco? There was a significant amount of research, production, and traveling that went into making this video possible. If you haven't seen already, check out my video on the rise and fall of New York and the rise and fall of Philadelphia. Let me know if there's any other cities you'd like me to explore. As always, stay happy and healthy and stay tuned for another episode of Company Insights next week.